Today, we're going to crack open a playbook that completely flips the entire sales industry on its head. We're talking about the work of network marketing expert Sean G. Murphy, who basically argues that success isn't some kind of numbers game. It's a discipline of human connection. So let's dive into the framework he's put together. So here's our roadmap. We're going to start with a pretty shocking statistic about why people fail, then move into the huge mindset shift you have to make to succeed. After that, we'll get into the nitty-gritty, the actual tools for figuring out what people really need. Then we'll see how to scale all that with something called a duplication engine, and we'll wrap it all up by redefining the whole model with a really powerful new philosophy. Okay, first things first, let's talk about a huge fundamental mistake. See, most people in sales, marketing, really any business that relies on persuasion, they are focusing on entirely the wrong thing. And the surprising part? The math actually proves it.
I mean, this is the big question, isn't it? We all see it. People with fantastic products, they have the best intentions, but they just can't seem to get any real traction. Well, the answer isn't in what they're selling, it's in a deep misunderstanding of how we actually communicate with each other.
So get this. According to major communication studies, this is how much impact your actual spoken words have on your message. Just 7%. That's it. Let that sink in for a second. All that time we spend perfecting a script, memorizing all the features and benefits, all of it is aimed at this teeny tiny fraction of the actual interaction. So what's the other 93%? Well, that's everything else. It's your tone of voice, your body language, the actual emotion you're putting out there. And here's the kicker. Murphy argues this 93%, that's also your chance of failure if you only focus on the words, which, let's be honest, is what almost everybody is taught to do.
Okay, so if the words aren't the key, then what is? Well, the answer means you have to totally shift your paradigm. You have to change how you see your role entirely. Turns out, it's not really about business at all.
And this right here, this is the heart of the whole philosophy. A true professional doesn't push their way into someone's world with a bunch of facts and figures. No, they create such a genuine connection, such real value, that the other person actually invites them in. The goal isn't just to make a sale, it's to become a trusted resource, an ally they want to have around.
And you can see the difference clear as day when you put them side by side. The unprofessional approach, it's all about pushing. It's a monologue, just blasting out information about the company, the product. But the professional approach is a dialogue. It pulls people in. It starts with them and their problems, and it makes them the hero of their own story.
So this all sounds great in theory, right? But how do you actually do it? How do you make that shift to focus on the person and get them to pull you in? Well, it all starts by getting their permission. And you do that by asking a few very specific questions. This one question, man, it changes the entire game. It's so disarming. It immediately flips the dynamic from a sales pitch, which instantly puts people's guards up, to a collaborative, problem-solving session. You're not there to sell something, you're just there to help, but only if they give you permission.
Now here's something a real pro gets that almost nobody else does. The massive difference between a want and a need. A want, like, I want to lose 30 pounds, that's something people can talk about for years and never do anything about. But a need is urgent. It's the car payment that's due this Friday. It's the problem that keeps you staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m. Needs demand action, right now.
And this is the secret weapon question. This is the one that cuts right through all the fluff. By putting that tight 7-day time frame on it, you bypass all the vague someday wants, and you get right to the burning, urgent need. And that is the pain point that will actually make a person take action and make a change.
All right. So being a master at this one-on-one connection stuff is awesome. But if you want to build something that really grows, something scalable, you need more. You need a system that's so simple, so consistent, that absolutely anyone can copy it. Perfectly.
And that right there is the secret to predictable growth. The goal is to just remove all the variables. When you create a system that's a perfect photocopy every single time, you can actually track what's working and what isn't with incredible accuracy. It's all about discipline, not about trying to improvise on the fly.
So this system, it's built on 3 core stories. That's it. The company's story and the product's story. They have to be identical, word for word, no matter who's telling them. Now your personal story, that's obviously unique to you, but it has to be told with the exact same structure and the same key points every single time. This kind of consistency creates what Murphy calls a movie that you can invite people to, where you control the script and you know exactly what's going to happen next.
And here's the real test, the acid test for your system. Could someone else on your team jump in halfway through your presentation and finish it for you, word for word, without missing a beat? Look, it's not about being a robot. It's about being so disciplined that the message itself is bigger than any single person delivering it. That's how you build a real engine for growth.
Okay, let's tie all of this together now. We've talked about focusing on people, not business. We've talked about solving needs, not wants. And we've talked about building a system that's a perfect photocopy. But what's the fuel for all this? Well, it's a really powerful, personal reframing of the entire industry. And I gotta say, this is pretty profound. This is Sean Murphy's personal definition. He takes this acronym, MLM, which for a lot of people is, it's loaded with negative baggage, and he completely transforms it into a philosophy of service. The goal isn't to get more for yourself, it's to love more. It's about genuinely, truly caring about helping other people solve their problems. And that, at the end of the day, is the question we're left with. What if your whole model was built not on selling, but just on helping? Because when you shift your focus from closing a deal to just opening a dialogue, everything changes. Success just becomes a natural byproduct of genuine service. The Professional's Playbook, it's not really about tactics, it's about a fundamental commitment to loving more.